Hi there, I'm Inu Anzu. I'm a Leroy GOD2, and today we're going to talk about dissecting stance slop. How do I deal with stance slop? What are their options to get into stance? How do I navigate where to explore those options to beat that stance? And today we're going to use Lily as an example because she's pretty strong right now, and people tend to struggle against her at this moment. So it seems to me anyways. So first I'm going to tell you how to explore the stance itself. So we get into Lily's stance with 1-1, back 2-1, we have down forward 4-4, we have forward 4, side step 4, just the 3 option, and forward 1+2, as well as down 1-2. I'm going to use something that's on block because I feel that on block is going to be how to challenge fake stuff, okay? So on block, it's -3. Same thing with back 2-1, that's going to be -4. I think 1-1 is just -6. But this is the least minus here on block. So we're going to use that as the example. So we're going to go with the 1-4 option. Oops. We're going to go with a 2 option. Oh my god, please. I keep forgetting to hit the record button. 2 option. Let's make sure there's no delays as well. So as soon as that happens, as soon as I go into stance, push the button as fast as you can. This is where we start going into directionals. So, oops. So we can do down 2. Oops. And we can explore with that. So once we go into stance, you can hold back 2 if there's nothing there, and just look for other options. Okay. So where was we? Down 2. And we're gonna pick 3. There's a string out of here. There's lows out of that as well, so we can do down 3 and down 4. You can group the lows along with them, so we could put down 2 with down 3 and down 4 just to see what our lows look like separately from all this stuff. This is all just to organize. You can get creative and trying to find what makes more sense to you. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, or I'll do 1, 1 down 2, or any kind of option with attached to the 1. That's how I like to do it. But you can figure out how you feel about that. And then the last ones I always do is 1+2 or 3+4, or 1+4 and 2+3. So we're going to continue on. What was our last option? Oh, right. We're on the last one. I'm going to do that again because I think I was a little bit. There's one option I'm not looking at right now, which is the 3+4 option. And that option is just fat. You could just sidewalk that anywhere. In any case, we do side step left, or we do side step in either direction or sidewalk in either direction. So we do side step first, then sidewalk, just to see. So these two are both side step right. Okay, that catches me. What if I walk? Okay, catches my walk. That catches my step. But it doesn't catch my side walk left. Or maybe it does, because this character's evil. Oh, okay. It's a timing thing. You have to let the move come out for it. Okay, that's where you explore timing. If it looks like it catches, that's probably pretty good that we've seen that. Okay, that's a homing move. We ignore that for now. We'll look at how to deal with that later. Okay, sidestep left and sidestep right. this is very linear. You should always do both sides just in case. Okay, that caught us. Alright, sidewalk right on this. Okay, that caught us. And that one sidewalk left. Good. What about the 1 plus 2? Okay, 1 plus 2 doesn't catch. That's just linear. So now we have kind of a consistent view on things. It looks like sidestep right is pretty good, but also since there are 2 linear moves in here, we can do sidestep right even more consistently because we don't have to deal with those 2 moves. We could just step that either which way. So what other options do we have if we don't want to do any like reads like a sidewalk right? Sidewalk is a read. You're kind of making an assumption that they're going to use a particular move. Sidewalk is kind of like, you could still sidewalk block and you'll be pretty safe, but this is a big commitment. So we're going to start seeing what we can do consistently. Alright, 1 1 1 1 plus 2 1 plus 2, right? This is a G clef. Some characters have these, so think Dragunov, Law, and Leroy. This is kind of inconsistent for some because there could be a crushing move out of this. I wouldn't heavily rely on this too much. Maybe you get a good read and it just happens to work out, but okay. So that beats out that. See how that gets crushed right there? This is what I'm talking about. Same thing with sidestep right and into button. So this is why we were a little bit patient when we were doing the walk. If you just sidestep left buttons, you eat that. If you push buttons with that, you eat that. But if we back 1 plus 2, the situation is totally different. And then we can see how far we can go with that. So you can start with a 13 frame. You can, let me see if I got any kind of, I was trying to find a 14 frame, but I don't know off the top of my head if I have that. In any case, so we have now confirmed that we can go from 12 frame, oopsies, 13 frame, and 15 frame. And we can do that throughout all of these. Okay. Okay. So we can disrespect it up to 15. And that crushes. But it doesn't crush that. And you can do your back turn, whatever it happens to be. So if you want to just keep it simple, you can just do the down forward 2. And you can just assume whatever, like if you have a counter hit launcher that's like less than that 15, you can do that. So what else can we do? As Leroy, we've got a little bit of privilege here. If you want to play defensive, we can look for a parry. So down, just block this because there's no real risk. She doesn't have an unblockable or anything. If you're Leroy or like Oscar or something, you have options for a low parry like this instead, and it nets a lot for us. And then there are other options like this one right here. We can parry. For Leroy, some strings become launch punishable with his parry. And we can get 84 damage out of that pretty impressive work. So you can, this is just like an outline. You can like see if you can armor, you can see if you can parry, you can see like orbital or something. If you have like a crushing move, so down forward 3+4 for me would be like a pretty good option. And so now we get to layer 2 of this, which is she has a back turn. So when you're in back turn, you can do down back and it gives us some space. So we're gonna go, we're gonna go into back turn like that, right? So she could also delay the timing of this. No, please. So now we have to look out for a new threat. If she notices that you're mashing back 1+2 or something of this sort, maybe we're lucky and we catch her back turn here, but odds are we're just gonna eat that. Okay. That missed, at least. So basically we're not gonna like rely on the consistency of the bot here doing this. This is like a whiff confirmed thing for the Lily player. If I whiff, if I push a button, she's going to commit to the whiff punish here. So our next job is waiting for that whiff. We're probably going to see it if we sidestep a little bit more after a little bit. And we're going to do our whiff punish. So think forward 4-4, forward 2, forward 2-2, like that. And now we can explore her other stance. Her there's forward 4-3, back 1. Okay, there's a string out of that. And it's delayable. So this is another thing we could learn about like reads. So we can see, we can counter hit that, and if she delays this, we can counter hit that. But if we mash on it and she does it instantly, oops, we eat a counter hit. This is just layered, so we're gonna keep the instant one here. This is where we start getting a little bit more in the weeds. Oops. So like I said, we're gonna do all the stuff 1 through 4, 1+2, 3+4. Wait, what was the last one I just did? Sorry, I'm old. My memory ain't what it used to be. Okay, that was 4. Okay. So now we do the same thing. I can sidestep that. I can sidestep that. Can't sidestep that. Okay, that's string. She catches me there. Can I sidestep here? Okay, that doesn't do anything. Sidewalk left. Okay, we can step that both ways. Can we step that both ways? We can. And we end the back turn, so we have to like look at our options here. Okay, that kind of hits us. So we're gonna instead sidestep left, duck. Sometimes the option is sidestep right, duck, which is the case for characters like Lydia. So we could just step, duck. And we could look at like what catches that and if it's like worth the risk for that, but that's beside the point. Now we look at the counter hits. Okay, sick. We just stuff. Oops. Let's see how many of these we got in us. Alright, it's looking like back one, not on hit. If she does it on block here, this is just fake. As soon as she does that and she tries to push a button, explode her. Well, she does that, but like, yeah, you know, that's not a very good option, I'll say. So this is pretty much how to dissect how stances work. This is how you explore options and how to beat them. And I'll leave the rest to you, and you can like look at what you can do against Lily. She has many options to get into her stance, so if you feel like just seeing how you can beat all of them, you know, have that. Anyways, I'm Inu Anzu. I do coaching for Tekken, so you can find me on Discord. I have many links in my descriptions and throughout my social medias. So it's Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube that I stream from. Hope you all have a good day. Hope this was helpful. If you found this helpful, let me know if you want me to dissect any other stance characters in the chat or in the description, in the comment section, whatever it's called. And have a good day.